Hello, I am Taylor James Roth, and welcome to today's stream. Will be session 15, playing Subnautica. Today on the agenda is some improvements to HABITAT.01 and exploring the Lost River some. So there may be some other things we'll dive into, but that's what's in the summary for the stream. So that's where we'll start with those things. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the save file. We've got about a minute before gameplay starts. So I'll go ahead and review that here. The save file that we will be playing on today is the same one used for the previous 14 sessions. There are 18 hours and 30 minutes logged in this save file, and it was last played on June 14th, 2025 at 11:38 p.m. This is a very late stream for me, by the way. That's 23:38 local time with the military 24-hour clock. Local time being the time zone is -4 hours from UTC, Universal Time Coordinated. So, who's ready to load in? Gameplay is due to start in 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transitioning over.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
I think I'm going to do some work soon on some of the thumbnails I've made. I like them, but probably see if I can add in some kind of, I don't know, a bigger me in the picture or something interesting. The stream that I've made that had the most interactions so far in terms of view count was the one with the Aurora, basically the loading screen for the game. It was the most popular video of all the sessions I've made. The most popular one is the loading screen. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, there's more to it than the loading screen, but that's the thumbnail. So it's an awesome thumbnail. It's an awesome loading screen. Great job, dev team. Okay, so a few things. First off, before I forget, I need to pin the blueprints for a beacon, because I've got to make one of those. In fact, we'll just start there. Yeah, I'll start there. What have I got in my inventory? Did I offload? Looks like I did. Alright, I have nothing in this space. I think it's down here. So far, sorry for that. That last session was a little bit on the short side, but there was a lot going on that day for me, so let's go easy on that guy. I am going to need some copper and some titanium. Here's the copper. Let's go ahead and make 4 beacons while we're at it. If I've got the titanium to support it. That. Okay, yeah. Okay. No. Well, there's 2 of the titanium. 2 of the titanium I would need. Do you know why? Do you know why I'm taking that apart? Because this is gonna replace the thing. The thing, chat, is gonna be replaced. No, not you, chat. I'm not replacing you. You'll always have a place in my chat. Let's pull out that titanium. Pull it out. Do it. What are you scared of? Pull out the titanium. Yeah, I'm feeling a little frisky with y'all today, so what? I've I've been playing 15 different sessions of this game, so pardon me if I feel like a galactic concierge down here. Which one of my fractals would you like to visit today? Spoiler alert. There may be some improvements coming to how to navigate between that choice. Alright. I've watched a lot of ASMR videos, so like I have ideas about ways to interact with chat and people in general. Okay. Let's build. I said the first thing I'll do is get that beacons built. It's coming. It's coming, chat. These are not permanent. These are just to store my inventory right now until I can get a more... Well, improvements are on the list today, but part of the improvement would be getting all my inventory in one part of the base. Okay, let's grab more titanium. Whoop. Why don't you just connect the two? Well, I would, but I'm stripping this thing down. Beacon. Do you know when I'm gonna push the button? When do you think I'm gonna push it? Come on, chat. Predict it. When am I gonna push the button to make beacon number 4? What do you think? Oh! I went to move my controller to show y'all, and as I was moving it, I pushed the button. That was unintentional. Unintentional, chat. Did you push the button? Did you? Which one of you? Which one of my fractals pushed that button? That was not my intent. I was gonna push it eventually. It's not a big deal. Push the button. Push it. See a little moonwalk backwards to get the lithium. uh... You have no power here. As I said, this is all improv right now. Not putting in hardly any thought to it. Just trying to make sure I have the same stuff that I had before to start with. Then I can plan more significant improvements. There's tons of quartz around here, so and lithium is no longer an issue. So my base build outs are gonna start getting a little bit more intricate. Be warned. Why didn't... That is where the vehicle upgrade station is. Of course it is. I was wondering why it didn't connect. Okay. And here's my whole reinforcement. Okay. This seems like a good spot for a whole reinforcement. Alright. Take this. And that is really, really prohibitive on the... It's gonna require a lot of reinforcements to do what I wanted to do. That's fine. There's bulkheads too that I could use. I might get there. But for right now, I'm just getting a connecting tunnel. Because I'm gonna need to branch off other things at some point. I don't want to be dealing with this a bunch.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I'll change these over to glass ones at some point, just to make this a more scenic walk around the base, because I want this is going to be my final base basically for the rest of the game. So I'm going to be working on making it prettier and less utilitarian. Now that I kind of know what room sections I'm working with. I think I needed some table coral, probably some gold. Did I use up my gold? Do I have no more gold? Gonna need 2 coppers. Oh, there's a gold. Sweet. The scanning room is going to allow me to actually look for resources more easily. So that's a good bonus. Okay, that should be connected and functional now. I'll need to build some upgrades. I've already got the chip. I don't need more drones. Scanner room range upgrade. Copper and magnetite. And silver and gold. Well, I don't have any more gold, so copper magnetite. I think that's doable. I will consolidate those inventories. Just give me a moment to get this functional. Those are speed upgrades, I think. Range upgrades, okay, good. Give it time to populate the list.
Seek fluid intake.
Okay. Visualizing the flow of the room. Already got the fabricator over here. Yeah, that's one of the things that pokes through the walls. Alright, advanced wiring kit. Ruby 2, titanium 2. This is really just a backup because I won't be needing to recharge this ship anytime soon. Don't need these. I will need to remake the water dispenser. Where is going to be a good place for that, chat? See, I'm getting so involved in the game, I'm forgetting about you all. How are you doing? What's everybody up to? You're enjoying the stream so far?
Seek fluid intake immediately.
Chat redeemed a hydrate. Of course, it didn't say water, it just said fluid. There's all sorts of fluids I might like. That one's some juice. Alright. This... I guess here. Copper wire and aerogel. Have any fiber mesh?
Vital signs stabilizing. Welcome aboard, Captain.
What I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of building the things that I can right now, getting things arranged, and I will do more resource exploration here soon, because there's a couple like core elements of things that I'm missing. First, I want more glass. Second, I want to put a glass ceiling up there. That's gonna require 4 enameled glass. I only have 2, I think. So that would require going back to my surface base to get more enameled glass. Okay. I'm going to consolidate these inventories as much I can for the moment while I reposition this one. I wouldn't need to do it this crap. I need to build some more stuff with titanium. Okay, plants maybe? Looks decent enough. I find that orientation works a lot better with rooms than like squaring it off. So just in case you were curious why to do it that way, why I do it that way. Here's normally where I would put upgrades, and then this was gonna be my spare battery section when I come back from mission, but I'll just do a wall locker here and have that be for my batteries that are dead. Batteries. Okay, got one dead one, don't I? Here. Okay. And might as well start in the middle and work my way out from there, so as to make it aesthetically like symmetrical. Want it to be symmetrical whenever possible. Use some of those acid mushrooms. Make me some batteries. Okay. Can probably drop storage, thank you. Ooh, I got titanium in there. I done forgot about that. Hey, there's a beacon in there. Gee. Okay, I'll keep one on me. Okay. Sometimes there's these little things like the water machine here.
Calorie intake recommended.
Dang it. It uppercases things. I was gonna be like this, but if it won't let me lowercase, then I'll just call it salt. NaCl all caps just looks weird. Gonna need to eat at some point. Got food on the ship. Alright. The next locker. I think I can probably do 3. Not sure of the spacing. Like how close together they should be. Because even if I stack them like right next to each other, I don't think. That there will be room for more than 3. But I don't know right now. I don't have enough resources to know that. Okay, put titanium in here along with manufactured components for now. Keep a little bit of titanium on me just in case I need it. Eggs, I guess, can go in there for the moment. What else would I want to keep in that first locker? That works for now. Okay, how about we save? I've made a lot of changes. I do not want to make them again. Thank you so much. Alright, let's go stock up on some food in the ship. That should be up here somewhere. I'll get some more mushrooms growing soon and harvested to make some batteries.
Vital signs stabilizing.
I do love potatoes. The way they fuel me anyway. I like to eat them. I guess I could have grabbed one of the potatoes in my inventory to plant inside, but that's fine. We'll get there. For right now, the potatoes are only on ship. You gotta go on ship to get the good potatoes.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
By the way, real quick, just want to come back over here, scroll down there. I want to keep an eye on my headset, my microphone output levels, just to make sure that people can hear me reasonably, myself included. Alright, food to plant. Lantern fruit, one of these, and then turn you into seeds. Okay. Eat the other. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Computer chips. I think that requires gold, if I remember correctly. Okay. Titanium and copper for the radio. Definitely should build a radio. This copper can go in here. I'm sorry, what? I did not pick up on the language he's putting down. Let's take a nap. And yes, I am going to put windows in. And real doors. Pretty similar to my above ground base. Right, mushrooms for some batteries. They look so cute. They're growing up. Did I use all my acid mushrooms? There was supposed to be some in the planter here. I will have to keep an eye out for regular acid mushrooms because deep shrooms are not exactly what I was looking for. They're useful, don't get me wrong. Deep shrooms are useful. Some kind of bug there.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yeah. Dang. Whoopsie. Alright, well, I guess the first search is gonna be to see if we can find some deep shrooms. Or, not deep shrooms. I want the other mushrooms. Acid mushrooms. In the meantime, what do we need more of? Gold. Let's go for some gold. Ooh, yeah, right. Storage units for the thingy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Give me that lithium. And then we'll remove some of the blueprints. It's like, when in doubt, just build some of the blueprints. They're there for a reason. They are there to help me. Much better. Okay. Beacons have been built. Storage units were built. I've got the depth module Mark 1. Definitely want to keep an eye out for those items. High capacity O2 tank and a plasteel ingot. I know where to get kyanite. I know where. I'm not eager to get it. Probably won't get it on this one, but that's fine. So that's a Cyclops depth module Mark II that I would be working on. I might as well, but doesn't seem like it should be a high priority. Nor the other large room. Take that off for now, since I have built it. Okay, so plasteel ingot. First stage is going to be using the titanium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What do I want to do first? Which one? The oxygen tank or the depth module for the Cyclops? Let's do the O2 tank. But I think I will need a modification station for that. Not sure I have the resources at the moment to build it, because I need a computer chip yet again. Which requires gold. Okay. Okay. So I guess I thing is, I think the depth module, I would have to take it out in order to modify it. So let's just put the plasteel ingot here for now. Alright, let's go get that gold. I've built what I can. And I've got a spare battery, which I'll probably need.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Okay, there's some gold right over there. It's probably a vein. Gold. Chemical symbol AU, capital A. Valuable conductive properties. Highly valuable social property. Who doesn't like gold? I was never a huge fan of it personally, especially on like jewelry, but I can see that, you know, it has an appeal for some. Looks like uranite. Okay. No other gold? That's okay. Probably the next adventure will be for some titanium. More titanium. I'm sure there's more than one node of titanium nearby, so can stop that scan. It's not even like draining the power significantly. Probably the water generation that's draining it the most. Okay. Okay, I was wanting gold for the computer chips. I think I needed table coral as well as copper wire. The gold that I just mined is inside the prawn suit storage. It's not in my inventory. That's as designed. Be kind of cool if there was like this autumn feature to drain it to the inventory, but I don't know if you could do that while hooked up to the suit. I don't know. Okay, computer chip. I'm gonna need 2. I would need the propulsion cannon in order to then modify it to the repulsion cannon, which requires the modification station. So let's get the modification station built out. I think I've got everything I would need for that. I have a diamond, I have some lead, and I have just enough titanium. Okay, now where do I want to put the modification station? Maybe this corner? Seems reasonable. This is like my fabrication sector. That is not what I wanted to make, game. I don't need a thermal blade. And you just took my good battery. I don't have more mushrooms to build. And you turned my knife into a flaming knife. I did not need a fire sword. Curse you! No, but, like, it'll be fine. I guess I was meant to upgrade my sword to be sheathed in fire today. It just was meant to happen. Alright. I need a high capacity O2 tank and the plasteel ingot. So how do I build a high capacity O2 tank? I need a standard O2 tank, which requires titanium. I need glass and silver, which I have plenty of. So titanium and quartz. Titanium and quartz. Okay. Well, I can take off the blueprints for the modification station and look at what other. So the CMOS depth module, prawn suit depth module, Cyclops depth modules. Okay, all the Mark II depth modules are in there. Do I know how to make polyaniline yet? Gold and hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is deep shrooms and salts. I think that I can actually make this. Fantastic. Deep shrooms. salt. Is it 1 salt to 3 deep shrooms, I think? Truly, they could have gone a little heavier with the salt, because it would have been great to have a resource drain for salt to... Can you guess what I'm making? Any thoughts? Come on. What am I planning to make here, chat? I need some rubber. Anyone got any rubber? Need some rubber. I think rubber is made from these.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
See, now my knife is like glowing with fire. It'll cook fish if I slap them with it, and it'll do some damage. But I hope it doesn't cook things that I don't want. Plus, I'm not going to be, you know, the only fish I'm going to hit with this, as best as I can help, is like, I don't know, reapers that might mess with me, or the little crab dudes. Silicone rubbers. It's useful for bulkheads as well. Like, that's a lot of rubber. Is it? Is it a lot of rubber? I could say you can never have enough, but or you can never have too much, but moderation with all things. Okay. For those of you who guessed that I was making the swim charge fins, you're right. That's what I was making to help solve my battery issues. To help me keep going and going and going. Okay, so I think we determined that I needed titanium and quartz for the oxygen tank mobility upgrades that I've had on the list for a while. So, look for some titanium.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
There's literally some right here next to my scanning unit. 2 nodes should be more than sufficient for the moment. That's the thing about being able to drill for resources compared to early game. It's like I can acquire resources at a much faster pace. Yeah, I mean, it's still annoying. I wish there was an upgrade to like the drill arm to make it one-shot the node or something. I don't know, the drill sound kind of wears on me, but it works. And with big enough storage on the backpack, there's really no real issues. 1300 is deep enough for me to go get kyanite, by the way. So I know where that is. 1650, it's almost 5 o'clock. Just figuring out when I want to broadcast to. Thinking 1800, 6 o'clock. I knew it would be a longer stream today because I just did not get my time in last time, and I really want to make some headway on getting this base prepped and get my resources more towards the end game. But I don't want to miss all the fun that I'm going to have along the way either. Because life is a marathon, not a sprint. Sometimes it's a sprint, and sometimes it may even be a marathon. I just said it is a marathon, but it's a quote. One of my friends told me once. It really resonated with me. So, and if you are one of my friends tuning in, and I haven't heard from you in a long time, or we don't talk anymore for whatever reason, know that you're still near and dear in my heart. I don't really forget about the people who I've met, especially the ones that mattered at some point to me. You still matter. Nothing has changed that. Nothing can change that. That is just eternal. Okay? Doesn't matter if we haven't talked for 10 years or 1 or 5 minutes. I do not hold grudges. Yeah, just let that shit go if there's something that you feel like I hold towards you or something I did wrong. I've done plenty of stupid shit in my life, so if somebody does want to be mad at me or, you know, not call or not be friends actively anymore, that's fine. You do you. I still want the absolute best life for you. Do I wish I was still involved in it? If there was a way for me to meaningfully be involved in it, then of course I would want to be there in a capacity that you and I and all those involved would appreciate and enjoy. But if there's not a way, then there's no need to force something. Just know that you're still loved, and I want what's best for you wherever you are, whenever you are. What was I building here? I got the titanium. I need the quartz. These are very quick missions now with the bronze suit. Just much more efficient resource acquisition. Gonna go ahead and turn some of this titanium into an ingot because just don't need that much titanium on hand, especially with how much is just hanging out around. I don't think there's enough lithium there for the moment for me to turn it into plasteel, but that's fine. And just drop these off. And let's see if we can find some quartz. It's not on the radar. Lithium is, so I will scan for lithium, but I will also go to an area where I think there's going to be some quartz. I'm not going to count these each as like an EVA, because that's ridiculous for this particular playthrough. Like mission 1, mission 2. Sometimes I get very granular with these things. It's fine. but I'm attempting to strike a middle ground when it comes to these chapter headings. So if someone feels like I'm being too specific or not specific enough, not enough chapters or too few, that's fine. Let me know. Put it in the YouTube comments if you're not here on the Twitch stream live, because that's really the best way to let me know. If you're not, you know, someone who's on texting or calling privileges with me, then yeah, just drop it in a comment on YouTube. I don't really delete any comments unless it's something stupid or spammy. So don't do that, and you'll be fine. Also, you know, don't be a bot. It's not that I have anything against bots, but you know, if a bot was gonna comment, I would want it to be something relevant. So if you're a bot, that's fine. If you comment and it's relevant to the video and the content that I've made in a meaningful fashion that makes sense to everybody who's gonna be reading it, that's the preferred route. Otherwise, you probably will get kind of banned or reported until your English or languaging skills improve, and that's fine. I don't mean to be a dick about it. I know that every life form is going through its own journey of how to interact with the world, and we're all learning at our own pace. None of us are exempt from that. So for those of you who may be working with the, you know, the newfangled, and sorry, it took me a moment to find the word, it's not in my normal vernacular, newfangled AI, that's fine. Enjoy your experience. I would recommend being polite, not because I'm afraid of some AI overlords, you know, getting pissed off, but just I prefer that people take an approach of treating others the way they would prefer to be treated. So if you don't want to be treated like an asshole, don't be an asshole. Don't behave like one. You know, it's not too complicated of a concept, I think. I thought there would be a quartz vein up here somewhere for me to mine. I know I've seen them up here before. There's one. I don't know why it didn't come up on my scanner, but that's fine. Just checking my message log here. Alright. Sounds good. Should be no issue with me going to 1800. I'm mimicking the drill noise. It's not that I'm bored of the game, it's just I enjoy the video game aspect of these things. If I am bored, I'm bored with multi-dimensional shenanigans. That's what I'm bored with. It's not you, it's me. But, you know, I don't know, man. Sometimes when I've listened to streams and they get a little too I don't know. It's not personal, but it's like it's kind of personal. But it's personal in the idea of like hazing. I'm not about that. So I don't know, if I'm ever lurking on one of your Twitch channels or something, and you're like, who is this guy? Why do I hear his higher selves talking to me upstairs? He doesn't even play the same video game as us. I'm like, yeah, but we're on planet Earth together, so like, I don't know. I don't like being constrained by the technology or lack thereof that's been invented on the planet. I'm an organic, hyper-intelligent being in a, you know, flesh suit, so to speak, that I grew on this planet. I have a lot going on in my mind and in my field and in my heart. And, you know, I just want to help everybody as best I can. But also, you know, it's important that my time and energy be respected as well. So, if if you have nothing better to do as the higher self of one of the people that, you know, I may bump shoulders with upstairs, if you have nothing better to do than attempt to cause shenanigans in my life, then you, more power to you. Not in a bad way, not in, just, you do you. But again, remember what I said, treat others the way you would want to be treated. So, imagine what it's like to spend 8 years basically trying to get a breath of oxygen from another dimension that you originally came from before, you know, being on this planet. Before incarnating into the video game, you know. Imagine what it's like to try to wake up to that, and the struggle is real. I've been working at it 8 years, and you know, I'm playing video games now, not because I gave up on it, just it's another way of expressing my multidimensionality. So that's all. So I'm drilling quartz crystals, talking about downloads and side loads and whatever kind of, you know, way of data transfer you want to talk about. But just know that I have the biggest thing I'm working on right now is my emotional stability in the face of shenanigans, but also like just, I don't know, being able to respond. If I were to compare it to something like,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
there's a video game that I've watched sometimes that has a role-playing element to it, and let's say it's like, you know, cops and robbers sort of thing, right? And let's say that the cops, the police, are chasing someone who's stolen a car, you know, because that's the game. The game has elements of missions for the criminals, and one of the missions is, you know, steal this car and then boost it and then sell it, you know? And that's fine. It's fine to play games together. I think I already have enough lithium for the moment, actually, so. Lithium. So, when the police are chasing, let's say that there's a, you know, comms between the various officers and dispatch. They're calling out, you know, because there's a lot of rapid turns really quickly, you know, as a car is navigating through the downtown or the city. You know, they're taking this turn, they're taking this turn, they're going on this street. This street's, they're heading north on this street now. There's a lot of locational triangulation data that's being relayed at very high speed, and that's one of the reasons to have good radio protocol about how to communicate data efficiently in a very rapid and efficient manner. So I strive for the same thing. So one of the reasons I listen to those types of experiences is to help improve my ability to comprehend how to do that with my higher selves and with yours when I hear them talking to, you know, your vessels. And it might sound like just a friend in a video game talking to you, but from my perspective, I'm like, that's a higher self basically checking in on that person right now. What's going on? Okay, they're on their telephone, they're talking with an upper dimensional. Could be. You know, I'm processing things in very compressed packets, and I'm not always talking about it openly. Doesn't mean I'm not doing it. So basically, when I'm listening to a Twitch stream, I'm not there to just eat popcorn. I'm not there to make the streamer do anything or say anything or be anything other than who they would want to be. I think that everybody deserves to be able to have their sovereignty and express it in the way that works for them. So much as that doesn't, just don't use it to try to diminish the experience of others. And you know, we should be good. I'm not gonna have beef with you just because you're, you know, you're being you. That's ridiculous. But when I'm listening to someone and I'm actively kind of on the comms with my higher selves, and then a bunch of jackasses show up in the game suddenly, a bunch of clowns roll up on the scene and start causing, you know, havoc and mayhem and, you know, threatening people and pulling guns on them and stuff, I'm like, from an interdimensional perspective, you just ended up in carnival land and I'm with you. So that basically means I'm caught in this net. Hashtag, I'm also like a, you know, field training officer, basically. Like, I'm here to help administer exams for rookies who are learning how to do the shit that I already know how to do. Some of it I learned on, you know, in Earth School of Hard Knocks, and others I probably remembered from doing it in other lives or other dimensions, other times. You know, I don't exactly know how all that works in terms of how it all coordinates into the chronological timeline that I'm on, but I know that streaming all that data through my vessel without having appropriate counterparts on the other sides interacting with me in a healthy and balanced manner really puts a cognitive strain on my vessel to try to hold all those threads together in a way that's respectful of everybody, but also, you know, doesn't waste all of our time. But I also can't metagame it too hard either, because then, you know, certain higher selves will step in and be like, you're not allowed to be here. We're gonna give you another fine, because you're somewhere where you're not supposed to be. Us talking about you not supposed to be here is us telling you in third person that you need to go find something else to do. Pick a more distant target. You know, I don't know. I've heard a lot of different methods for hazing vessels, and I just want to, you know, I'll scoot closer here to the camera for a moment. I just want to say I'm not okay with any of these hazing methods I've encountered. Not okay with it. At a soul level, and as my higher self stare through this chemical computer right at the camera, most likely you are not one of the people who's been causing me these issues. Most likely your higher selves are not one of the beings causing me these issues. But have I encountered these kind of beings and energies? Abso-fucking-lutely. Pardon my language. Absolutely. That experience is real for me, and it cannot be taken from me. It is completely valid. It is a completely acceptable way to have been a human being on this planet, navigating these streams in this time. And there's a lot of shit going on a lot of dimensions beyond where people really comprehend. I've seen a lot of very, very young children, basically, in very old suits on this planet, and there's been a lot of issues with getting appropriate management and actual leadership to step up and actually be who they need to be and in the positions where they need to be in order to be the most effective leaders that we deserve and that they can be. So if you're gonna, if you are one of those leaders and you happen to tune into this stream, you happen to see this guy talking to you and his higher selves, please continue to be on your best behavior. Be the example that you wish others to follow. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. So we all have our own ways of processing information. We all have our own ways of resonating with our higher selves, and with our higher selves resonating with others. Let's just continue to encourage the best behaviors that we can, and when we need to correct something, remember that these beings are growing up. They're all having their own experiences. And sometimes we get involved in babysitting, whether we wanted to or not, and we need to remember that I should treat this being and whatever kids are involved, whether they're in a kid suit or whether they're in an older person suit, regardless, the maturity level of the light quotient of the beings involved. How's that for a vernacular term? just be patient with them, please. And be nice in the ways in which we talk and communicate with others. That's it. I mean, I'm here playing video games or attempting to play video games, but what would get in the way of me doing that and having fun? A lot of the experiences I've been through that haven't yet gone public. There are some things I've been through and experienced that when I get in front of the appropriate galactic courts and galactic judges, it's over. Like, some of the ways in which my higher selves and I have been treated on this planet, that shit's not gonna happen, like, ever again. For as many people as we can stop it from happening. We've got a lot of good intel on how I've been treated, and there's been a lot of manipulation behind the scenes and misrepresentation of who beings actually are. I've seen a lot of good people who have meant, to help as much as they can, and for whatever reason, there seems to be some difficulty between how we get from our houses to each other. Now, that being said, some of my dreams lately have really helped me to see some of this in a different way. I'm gonna build some inventory management here. Yeah, we're just switching off that topic. I'm done with expressing on that for now. I'll add more if I need to. I just want to take an action, and not just sit and say I'm playing a video game, but really just be talking to the camera. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people treated poorly, basically, myself included. And I think at the end of the day, all of us would want to I think we all want to be able to calm down from the level of shenanigans that's been on this planet. And really, I just want my streams to be a place that people feel comfortable being here, regardless of your past, regardless of what kind of dimension you come from, right? So the communication in terms of the speed with which we can travel. I've had dreams, and I'll just look around in the game and stuff while I'm telling this piece, or just disregard kind of how my video game avatar is at the moment, because this is important to me to get accurate. I'm not sure I can multitask it and still convey the message the way that it deserves to be conveyed. So I'll park here for a moment. Okay. So I've had dreams of friends visiting me, and it feels like they live really close for some reason, but in like 3D, in Earth life, I know that they live much farther away. So kind of the locales don't exactly match up. Calorie intake. I will eat in the virtual video game. Okay, game? I will eat. My inventory is full. So, the download that I got just this morning, actually, about that, whatever term you want to use, download, the way in which I integrated the information of the dream, the way in which I interpreted the dream in a meaningful fashion that my chemical computer was able to process into, this is actionable information. I can share this. So
Vital signs stabilizing.
living close to others or having the experience of others traveling to see me, coming to see me, and feeling like they were able to get here a lot faster than seems reasonable based upon where they live. Well, the thing is, right now I'm communicating through a recording that I'm making of me playing a video game. That is going to go online. It already is online. It's streaming live right now, in the now moment of when I'm recording it. So I'm jumping around in the game. I guess I'm testing if the floor is jello. Yeah, so what would it be like if I were to drive from my YouTube channel to somebody else's YouTube channel? Like, those are houses for parts of our consciousness, parts of our data is stored there. Versions of us are stored there, are living there. That's not really any different than the physical houses that we use on Earth. It's just a change. So if I were to go from their YouTube channel to mine, that's a very quick drive. So if they were to make a broadcast and I tune into it, it would seem like they were traveling to me much faster than seems reasonable in terms of physical visitation on the planet. Do you follow the thread that I'm laying down? Whoever's listening. So I've had dreams where people visited me and they felt closer. They felt like they lived closer to me than I remember them being. And my mind couldn't really comprehend why this was. It was confused. So now that I've processed this in the physical and I'm even sharing it with those who will be participating in this particular video, and through this thread of the Subnautica playthrough, and my channel as a large part, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. It's a tree that keeps growing. All of this data. Yeah, they're just houses. So if you want to visit me, or if it feels like I'm coming to see you, and I live far away, but I live really close in the dream or something, it could be that we were interacting through a video. Now, sometimes the mind has shown me things like that, where I see one of my higher selves, and it's like they're talking to me through a video game. Oddly enough, So, yeah, there's a lot of ways in which the brain can interpret the information being relayed. So just, I don't know, go easy on yourselves, but also look at things in the most optimistic way possible is something that a practice I've been participating in more and more. Like, why did I just fall into the water? Why did I go into the water? I was supposed to be looking at things in the most optimistic fashion. I'm like, that my avatar moved in a way that I didn't intend. Should I be upset about that? I don't know. I don't have to be. It's not the only option available to me. I can choose what I want to do with that. And you too have choices. I thought that I collected some lithium. Did I already lay it down in here? Yeah, looks like I did. Okay. So going back to the old way of doing things here, I'm gonna drop the manufactured components in the very first storage unit. The big ones, the locker. Why do they call these both lockers? See, this is the challenge with describing things. Wall locker versus locker. Okay, the freestanding locker, the large locker. The large locker closest to the fabricator is where the fabricated stuff is going to be. For now. Because now I have enough quartz so I can finish building my wall of inventory organizing systems. AKA lockers. Locker up. Alright. And then I'll organize these others soon. Locker 2, the second one in from the thing is usually for titanium. I think even quartz. Put silver and gold together with copper. It's been a while since I've gotten like riled on stream. Not that I was too riled, but like, I don't know, I've just been through a lot lately, and last time I said that I streamed late and that it was quite the day, and it's true. And what I was experiencing was some of that feedback of opening additional comm channels for myself, and experiencing some pushback about whether or not I'm authorized to do that, or whether I have the emotional balance to be able to be there, or, you know, just... I won't blame anybody for how the situations turned out. I'm sure I had my own, you know, contributing things. They were valuable experiences. All of my experiences are valuable experiences. So if you feel like maybe you hurt my feelings or something, don't worry about it. Let's just all be as nice as we can to each other and to ourselves, and move on from the past of the difficult experiences that we've been through. Because if we have to spend the next like 100 years just listening to each other's world's shittiest experiences, dude, I don't know. I don't want to do that. I don't think others want to do that either. Like, let's be real. I don't know who would want to do that. Let's do creatures, like eggs and stuff, the second one. Plant seeds. I'll probably do in a wall locker maybe. I guess I could do this for now. Table corals. Cave sulfur. So this is like harvested materials here. Okay. Lead, lithium. I guess ruby could go in harvested materials. No, I'll leave them there for now. Okay. You'd be like, how are you going to keep all these lockers organized in your mind? I'm like, well, eventually I could put signs above them if I feel like it. I think I could do that now, but need copper. Been a while since I've made signs, so sure, why not? The other lockers have the little LCD panel that and apparently that section of the wall is did I just lose it into the wall? I had a feeling when I constructed it that was going to be the case. Sign should be deconstructed first. Storage container is not empty. I'm trying to deconstruct the sign. There we go. Yeah, so that part of the wall's glitched. Weird. Looks fine here. Ugh. Maybe not so fine. Did your QA team check to make sure signs work on these walls? Hmm. It's too big. Okay. It could be worse. Could be worse. At least I've got a sign telling me where to put titanium. Alright. Whatever. We'll play with it another time. That sucks. That's a bad bug. Ah. Alright. Anyway. Okay, come on, let's pick up the mood. Everything's fine. You're breathing. You're getting to play video games. Life could be a lot worse. Are you getting to watch video games? Life could be a lot worse. I know it's down. I know on Earth it's so gnarly sometimes, but like, come on. Come on. Have some chocolate chip pancakes. And apple juice. You know. Come back on ship. It's so much more fun. Alright. What? I still have half an hour left. Okay. Right. I was gonna make the oxygen tanks. I don't remember how much oxygen it takes. I think some glass is actually what's needed, not quartz. But that's fine. Standard O2 tank. High capacity needs titanium and silver? Huh. Silver. I think I need 4 titanium. Did I read that right? Yep. Okay, 2 glass. Am I still scanning for titanium or no? I know there's plenty around here. Boom. I do like this game. It is a lot of fun. I only visit it pretty much every 2 weeks, so pardon me if I kind of want to get more out of my system than can fit into a 2 or 3 hour window, but because I want to listen to them later and log them, basically I want to keep track of my own neurons and the houses that I'm building. This is a house I'm building, or part of the house that my higher selves and I are building. You know, I want to be as transparent as I can be with you, reasonably so, about what that process entails, and when it involves going back and listening to my own content, I can't, you know, I have to have an equal amount of hours, more or less. I can speed it up some, usually, but oftentimes I'll just listen to it at the regular speed. So 3 hours of content is 3 hours of me listening to it later, in order to then say that I definitely listened to myself. So, and I think that if more beings actually would do that, in terms of the things they're recording and the things that they're sharing, if they took the time to take a look at themselves as much as I have in certain regards, by no means am I perfect, but I guess one could say I'm kind of hyper aware of how what I'm speaking about may resonate into multiple times and spaces, and how my words can end up in the right place at the right time if I will just align my voice with the proper level of intent and awareness. Yeah, like, if I want my words to have some kind of meaning for you, the audience, whether it's me listening or whether it's other people listening, I need to have some, you know, appreciation for everybody's time, my own included, and focus on the things that are going to be positive and helpful in that exchange, in that interaction, and kind of let go of the things that aren't going to be so necessary for that. So if you wonder at all, or if you have wondered why I don't talk more in the streams, why periods go with so much silence and just the game, that's why. I'm just enjoying the game, but there's a balance between enjoying the game and also doing the mission that I came here to do, which is, in a way, to be an ambassador of consciousness and to help bridge the upper dimensions with the lower ones in a way that everybody finds to be enjoyable, and isn't a burden. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm building stuff, collecting resources, you know, earning that paycheck, whatever that is, allowing that paycheck, allowing myself to be reimbursed for doing, you know, work for others, work that helps move things forward. You know, if I weren't a bug tester for the games industry, I'd still be a bug tester for the human experience. Nothing's going to change that. I'm still, you know, part of the early access or live beta or whatever the hell we want to call it. It's still something it's an experience that's been ongoing for me. Every single day I've woken up basically on a live production server called Earth, and I've had to adapt and acquire resources in a survival game as best I could. And I chose the route of being, you know, honest day's work for an honest day's pay. And it's a bit slow going, but at the end of the day, myself included, I don't think anybody's going to be able to look at my incarnation and be like, oh, well, that dude definitely cheat coded himself all of those resources, you know. No, I didn't. I earned the things. I put in the effort, I put in the time, and the amount of game knowledge that I have shows that. Shows that I've been showing up. And I like this idea that I've been doing with you all of going through an actual full video game with you and not doing any progression off stream. Now, I've played the game before on other, you know, in other off-stream formats, but I haven't, this save file is only getting played when I am doing these streams. So it's an experience we're having together, and you get to see the way my consciousness works. And yeah, it may seem a little disorganized. It may seem like, you know, I'm focusing on the wrong things. I've certainly thought that at some time. There are plenty of times where I've thought that I'm focusing on the wrong things. I should be having a conversation about something else, you know. But at the end of the day, what's important is to just kind of ease up on the expectations, enjoy the experience, and yeah. Need a plasteel ingot for that. I don't know when my oxygen tank got removed. I think I took the blueprint off a moment ago by accident. I didn't actually build the thing yet that I was wanting to build. Or did I? No, wait, I need plasteel ingot. Plasteel, which means lithium, which I have plenty of at the moment. Should I turn all these titanium ingots into plasteel? Some of them. I'll keep at least one as just titanium ingot in case I need it, but I think usually when I need a titanium ingot, I need it as a plasteel. It's a two-step process. Lightweight, high capacity tank. 90 seconds of oxygen versus 180 seconds. But I can store that other one here. Ooh, there's my propulsion cannon. Okay. Okay, we're cooking. We're cooking. That's so much inventory space. I really don't need to keep it on there. Let's just keep it in here for now. Propulsion cannon, magnetite, and a computer chip. I think I need some gold for that. Need copper wire. Shiitake mushrooms. No, titanium doesn't go in that one. I also need 2 magnetite for that, so. Lithium. Tempting to get some of these blueprints off before we close at 1800. I think the sandstone chunks may have copper in them. I need those improved jump jets. That's gonna make moving around so much better in this suit.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Just gonna do this for the moment. Gold. Is copper not available in a sandstone chunk? It's gold. I don't think it's in sandstone. It's in limestone, maybe? Maybe shale? Geological data. Limestone, titanium and copper, sandstone, shale, gold, lithium, diamond. Okay, so I need limestone chunks. Or a copper node, which there should be a copper node somewhere in the area, but my scanner system doesn't seem to want to pick up on it just yet. Limestone chunks. Oh, better than limestone chunk copper ore. That's okay. Those items that I collected are still valuable.
Seek fluid intake.
Mm-hmm. I have water in the storage unit on the Ranger, so I'm not concerned. I can get that. I even have a food nutrient block if I absolutely need it, but I'm not going very far since it's still in scanner range. That's where the advanced jump jet's really gonna help. It's getting up that cliff. Fortunately, we found 2 copper ore veins with the scanning room right next to each other, not too far from my base. The advanced jump jets are really gonna help. The only thing I need left to do that is the crystalline sulfur, and I think that's down in the lower depths, so maybe I'll make a quick exploration. Best viewers on streamboo.com, remove this space. Yeah, you're a bot, bro. Or whatever that is. First time chat. Welcome. And click to reply. How do I... I don't want to reply. I want to ban them. Can I please have my mod? Show mod icons. Ban. And delete that message.
Calorie intake recommended.
I'm telling to delete the message, but it's not listening. Alright, anyway. Seek fluid intake immediately. Yeah, deploy the beacon before the end of the stream. That'd be nice.
Vital signs stabilizing.
And I did go through the trouble to build them, so. Alright, back to drilling for copper. Back to water. I don't know. Should we go over? Should we go push it to 1830? I don't know. What do I want to do? Because both the listening me matters and the now me, but I think the listening me is going to have more fun if I actually do something that's fun for me. And I think, I don't know, hopefully you're having a good day. It sucks for me sometimes to think that the version of me listening to these is having a worse experience. And worse is relative, but like, that dude's probably doing some work in the office while having the stream up, listening to his past self, listening to all the things I said about, you know, how I want to help people and different ways in which communication works, and, you know, the struggle is real. And at the same time, he's dealing with the shenanigans or whatever. Doesn't mean that it has to be that way, but like, I don't know, working with as many coworkers as I've worked with, sometimes it gets to be a little bit of a, it's challenging to coordinate a team as large as some of the ones that I've participated in working on. Doesn't mean anybody's actively trying to make anybody's day worse. It's just getting so many different, from a perspective, competing agendas into alignment. I mean, I don't think there's many people who want to just work all the time, especially when it's somebody else's stuff that they're working on. You know, they want their own time to be respected, and I respect that. I'm working towards that goal, but I think that the way forward is not to just ignore or completely tear down the current system. There needs to be a method provided whereby consciousness can transfer gracefully from a legacy system to a newer system. The game must be left in a functional, playable state. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying that it's important that everybody's perspective be included in the solution as best as we can, and if there are people who are not, who don't like the solution as it's presently being, you know, offered or implemented, that their input be valued still.
Emergency. Starvation imminent. Seek calorie intake immediately.
You know, sometimes I really enjoy
Vital
the
signs
computer lady,
stabilizing.
and other times I'm a little upset by the timing on that. It's not her fault. I don't blame her. It's just I wasn't paying attention to the needs of the character until being reminded. And I guess that's what I'm getting at, is these human bodies, they need a lot of help sometimes, has been my experience. I've definitely needed a lot more time off than I've had. And I don't think anybody's to blame for that, per se. It's just a phase of consciousness growing. Got plenty of copper. That being said, I think I may go to 1830. I'd like to go down and get the nickel and some kyanite before the end of the stream, and I think I can reasonably do that. Magnetite. Especially since the house may not be getting used by my family at the moment. They'll be home eventually. Need some titanium and quartz. finish building this wall while I'm here. And I'll go collect the magnetite. Okay. The trouble with connecting this right next to, like, the trouble with my moon pool where it's at, and it's not going to change. It's just when you're designing bases, always, I think it's a better solution to have at least one connecting tube between the sections, because then you can take away the tube, and then I could build a reinforced here and here. But because of how I put these together, I'm actually losing 2 reinforcements right now that I could have had in terms of how the base is designed. So just some feedback for base building in general. And then, yeah. Let's see how much this reduces. Oh, there's really only a spot for one window. Okay, that's fine. Oh. Out of batteries, but I do have the glide fens. So I think as long as I'm free diving. Yeah. Yeah, I think here's where I'm gonna want it. Not I'm seeing if this drains or charges. It looks like it's charging, so that's good. My glide fans are working, or my electric charging fans. So I can now, over time, as long as I'm swimming enough, it may seem slower, but I'm getting my fabricator. You can see, hopefully you can see, I can see that the power indicator just, it's at the bottom portion of the screen. There's 5 icons that represent my quick bar. Just above that, it says power, and then it has a percentage. That percentage is increasing because I am swimming, and I built those electric charge fins earlier. These ones. Swim charge fins. Wirelessly charges your held tool while you swim. So, by me swimming right now, I'm actually charging my battery in my base fabricator tool. Habitat builder tool, I think is what it's called. Habitat builder, yeah. And the habitat builder tool is recharging the battery that's in it by me swimming. That being said, I don't have much oxygen left, so I will need to hold off on this exploration for the moment and go back to my base because I didn't bring the prawn suit, and that's fine. I'll go get more magnetite soon. I got what I needed for the moment. Gonna upgrade my propulsion cannon to a repulsion cannon. Yeah. That thing is very dangerous, so be careful how one uses it. Okay, let's take the blueprint off for the repulsion cannon. Don't need it anymore. Yeah, if I were going to end the stream at 1800, I'd just cross that window, but I am going to go later. 1830 is the tentative stopping time right now, but for now, real quick, let's keep charging the power. And really, it doesn't matter which tool I keep charged, because if I charge the, I can swap the batteries around. So I can swim with this one. The what is this called again? The Sea Glide. It's an underwater vehicle movement tool. I can use the Sea Glide to navigate around, and that's charging the battery instead of expending it, or charging it more than it's being expended. So then I could swap that battery to another one once it's fully charged. Okay, collected the Magnetite. And quartz. What? I'm just checking the whole strength. 1.7. That's a little low for where I would ideally want it to be. So I am going to use some lithium and find a place to reinforce. Need titanium with that. Not sure I have enough titanium. All that titanium I collected.
Emergency. Starvation imminent. Seek calorie intake immediately.
I need the potatoes. Let's go get those. Then we'll go get the titanium.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Vital signs stabilizing.
I don't want to scoot this over further. The moon pool, that is. Maybe that's what I'll do at some point.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I don't know, we'll see.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
good news is I've basically gotten a lot of the resources and build out necessary to get this HABITAT-01, this deep base, operational and looking a little bit better functionally. Probably one of the best upgrades I could do is if I do move that pool, the moon pool, and then reinforce those walls. That would probably allow me to make some of the other edits that I'm wanting to make in a more flexible manner. And then if I have time after that, if it doesn't take too long, I can go get the nickel ore. Hard one to get to. Alright, so just this titanium node and then back to the base. Move the moon pool, or at least compare whether it can reasonably be moved. I could always move it to the other side of the base. And just use the connecting tube to go between them. I like that there's a real quick access between the two areas. I like the flow of it coming from that side. I just want to move it out one spot so I can build a tube between. I just have one tunnel instead of two. That would be my preferred way to relocate it. And this titanium I won't be breaking down, just so that I can have it more handy. So I won't have to go for titanium again right away. The amount I've acquired today should be more than sufficient. Okay, so stage one will be deconstruct the vehicle upgrade console here. Grab a little bit of titanium because I'll need it for the connectors. Probably too much, but it's fine. Move the prawn suit. Okay. And then bust down the moon pool.
30 seconds. Oxygen.
Hmm.
30 seconds. Oxygen. Welcome aboard, Captain. Seek fluid intake.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Every time I work with the base, I learn a lot about how to build things and how to not build things. I wish there was like a orientation. There's a leak somewhere. Where is it?
Hull integrity restored. Draining systems initiated.
I think these things are built to be able to drain water. Okay. I can always replace that with an X if I need to. I just want to leave the option open so that I can go, you know, because this is going to be a multi-connected base.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
Need quartz for that.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Where's the damage? They always turn off the lights when there's damage to the base.
Draining systems initiated.
Silver and gold for a speed upgrade. Copper and magnetite for range. See, speed will help it map sooner. And then the copper will help to, or not copper, but the range upgrade will make it be able to scan further out, and the speed upgrade will help it scan quicker. So I have to wait less time before it maps each node. I should have a pretty significant scan range now. It'll take time for it to map the rest of it, but it starts remapping each time that the game is loaded into, so. I only have one glass left. I wish there was a glass junction, but I guess they figured nobody should be dumb enough to build a base full of glass like that. Where's my prawn suit? There we go. That's weird. It wasn't displaying the tag because I was too close, I guess. I guess I don't need the LED platforms. It's literally the worst side for it to get me out on, but that's fine. I'll make do. Well. Okay, get me out on the left side and we're good. Alright. Yeah, that'll work. Should I put this for now and then just change the piece if I need to later on to build more stuff? Okay. But, yeah. How much more quartz do I have? Just this. So I can make one more glass section. I guess I can reinforce here for now. I like the idea that I'll be able to see the gardens there. And I'm okay having reinforced stuff on the inside here. I want like a perimeter walkway that I'll be able to like circle around my base. And then if I really needed to, I could add in like bulkheads. Like here, here. I didn't pack the rubber, so let me go grab that. Those add 3 hull strength. I feel like this is the proper way to do it. Like they can be facing either way depending on how you want to do it. But I feel like the piece that sticks out should be on the side that's like being used to access, right? Because I pull open the door and I think they speed up that process at some point. Like it kind of fast goes through opening and closing the doors. Or it's a bug at times. But I feel like that's the proper way to do it with each of these sections. So bulkheads are another way to get additional hull reinforcement without needing to use the hull reinforcement so much. I can build one more bulkhead. I think
Seek fluid
I'll do
intake.
it here. So that way basically the living quarters section is sealed. Even if I'm not closing the bulkheads when I'm not using that section of the base, I still have the option to close them, and whether they're open or not, they still reinforce the integrity of the base.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Okay, grab this other potato over here. I don't know which section it planted it in. I think it planted it over here. Alright, that's fine. Different than on ship. Okay. That's about it for the base upgrades right now. I would write conductives for that, but there's so many different conductive, like metal things. I don't know what I need that computer chip for at this point. So I'll just put it in here. Probably build another inventory here at some point. But in my other base, I think I've got a med kit here. Fabricator. In HABITAT.00, that reminds me I need to place the beacon. Mm, 1837. Stream has been going for almost 3 hours. Wow, for some reason I thought I started later than I actually did. I thought I was gonna be at a 4-hour stream, but a 3-hour stream, that's a lot more reasonable. Alright, the water I think should be done. Okay, 2 waters on me. Food's growing well. Alright. Let's go see if we can get some of these things. First, let's drop the beacon. Where is it? Okay. Beacon. Where is the most optimal location? I guess underneath or next to where the vehicles... Like, should the beacon be near my bed? Or near where the vehicles park? Near where the vehicles park. Okay. Like underneath it? Okay, what's the ideal depth here? Like the bottom or like the average height of the base?
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I think height of the base. So 903. I'll do it right behind the vehicle upgrade console. That like got magnetized to the base. Pull out just a little bit further. Okay. It's at the right height now, but it must have grids. Like, it's the only explanation here as to why it's going a certain distance. So that must be where it needs to be. Alright. Beacon has deployed. Habitat.00 at 903 meters.
Seconds.
That was what the computer chip was for. Okay. Beacon habitat zeros. Okay, that's supposed to say 01. Sorry. I'll adjust that. Okay. Now I need a copper wire and that computer chip, unless I used it. I don't remember what I built a moment ago. I feel like I used the computer chip, I just don't remember what for. Did I use it? No, I did not. Good. However, I may have shorted myself on titanium yet again. But that's an easy fix. Build those bulkheads again later. if I want. At least I've got them for the main section. Okay. And this is survival games in a nutshell. There's a lot of time spent getting a base to be operational, but then once it's built, once it's fully, you know, online and good, then there's not nearly as many challenges. I wonder if the scanner can pick up any sulfur, crystalline sulfur for me. If I could get those jump jets before the end of the stream, that would be great. No. Alright. Well, I have an idea where they are, so I am going to go that direction. And again, as I said, my stream hasn't been going as long as I thought it was.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Check something here. Alright. I can go for another 15 minutes maybe or so. They're really gonna be like, you can't build the platform while other stuff is above it. Okay, well, I'll deal with that mess another day. For right now, let's go get the jump jet upgrades if we can. So this is a direction I haven't taken y'all yet, but I have gone in my personal playthroughs. Getting back up without the jump jets, it's gonna be a little annoying, but can be done. That being said, beacon. I need to mark this. This is called the inactive lava zone. And if you're curious about my new armaments, we will explore those soon enough. I'm sure there's often things down here that don't play so nice. Anyway, I don't need the beacon, but I know the way out, but it gets so dark down here right now for me. It's very difficult to see. The idea of getting warped out of my ranger suit while crossing above a lava and having it fall in lava and like melt or something is terrifying to me. That being said, I've done this before. Hmm. Navigation would be a lot easier with the, oh well, locomotion would be easier with the jump jet upgrade. I have to be mindful of the depth here, but kyanite should be findable just around 1300. There some is. Dang it. It's like literally one of the worst positions to be in. It's okay, just be patient. Almost there. Okay, there we go. That's where the modified jump jets really would come in handy, because trying to use a jump jet when one is just hanging with with an unmodified jump jet, it's just so difficult to freaking climb. Usually the best tactic is to land on a ledge, recharge the jets, and then push off, jump off with that, because jumping off from a ledge has got a much better kickoff. Like, just, yeah. Anyway, still avoid wasting time like that, and also if I got warped out of the prawn suit, which I have not been warped out of a ranger in that type of situation before, I think. But for some reason I'm always scared it's gonna happen. Now, I feel like crystalline sulfur should be also somewhere around here, but not entirely sure where. Maybe that's some. That looks like it's probably some. Okay. Maybe I can only scan things on the scanner that I've actually like scanned before. I don't know. It's food for thought. How have I already scanned kyanite? Weird. Maybe it has to be the little free nodes. Interesting.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Aluminum, sulfur, or silicon pentoxide, maybe? Is that a 505? Dihydrox, no, what's two? Two aluminum? Dialuminum, silicon pentoxide, I don't know. It's kyanite. Two aluminums, one silicon, and 5 oxygens. Magma ray. Ruby. So the external water temperature is 51 degrees Celsius. It's quite toasty. Fortunately, I have my reinforced dive suit, so it's not too much of an issue for me. But I do need 2 more of those crystalline silicons. Crystallized sulfur. Crystalline sulfur. Okay. That's something. think that's the lava fortress. I will need to know this location. I believe there's an entrance up here somewhere. Can't see crap. Oh, I can't stand it. Is this any better? Oh, yeah, I mean, I can see a lot better. I may just have to turn that off for certain sections of the game. As much as I like the way it makes the game look in certain areas. Oh, dude, he is pissed. Well, I can see a lot better now. So that helps. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I don't know what to call it though. I don't fully remember what's on the other side. I know this leads to the one of the alien facilities, the geothermal plant, I think. I'm just gonna call it alien lava for now. I think because I don't think it's geothermal, but
Vital signs stabilizing.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
as I said, I want to do that jump jet upgrade, so that means I need to find more silicon, or crystalline sulfur. And I think maybe that'll be findable in here. Okay, gotta mute myself for the moment. Sorry, I had to keep my family off the camera. Do I have a purple tablet on me? Oh, right. I am like trying to navigate as if I'm floating and not floating right now. No. So I think this is the geothermal plants. I will need this blue tablet. Thank you very much.
New blueprint acquired.
Come here, to me.
Yeah, You find a lot more ion cubes late in the game, and they can even be turned into like power sources eventually, which will be really useful. But it's like at the point that the game actually gives that, there's so much of the game that's like done. I feel like it should have been a bit of an earlier find, but I get why they didn't give it earlier. It would make some of the exploration just way too easy. Alright. Can you give me an ion cube, please? Thank you so much. Portal! Open! Now where does it go? Yeah, the portal system. Wormhole! We're going through a wormhole! Whoa! And here we are. Let's see, how far? About 1,500 meters, 1,568 from my prawn suit. This looks like the primary interdiction facility. Okay. Cool. Best way to figure out what's on the other side of a Stargate. Sorry, wormhole. Let's go through it. Just go through it. What are you scared of, chat? Go through the wormhole. And come back to a fully bugged prawn suit. But I feel like it should still work. Um... This was the nearest location that you could spawn me to? I don't believe you. Man, if my prawn suit is, like, stuck for good, I'm gonna be pissed. This is a great bug. Great bug, Unknown Worlds. Apparently docking the Ranger before going through the wormhole. Yeah. I'm gonna try quitting and resuming, and hopefully it spawns me near the prawn suit, or in it, and preferably in a fixed location.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Okay. Did I just stop the recording? I feel like I just stopped my recording. Fuck. Alright, well, I'll deal with this shit, I guess. I'm gonna have to download my recording from Twitch. Fun. So, multiple multiple bugs right at the end of an amazing stream. Yeah. I guess I'll read online. Maybe see if there's some suggestions about how to get the prawn suit out. I've heard of other things getting stuck before. Maybe a propulsion cannon. But yeah, that baby's hard stuck. So yeah. Maybe that's why it didn't have as much light. I don't know why unstuck doesn't work on a vehicle. And I can't exit the vehicle once I get into it. So I have to unstuck. So here's the plan. I'm going to leave stuff in the storage here. That is not really essential. I'm going to access the upgrades. And remove the things that I do not need on here. The depth module, unfortunately, the prawn suit will explode or will perish without the depth module attached. The other power cell is not a big deal. I'm going to go through the portal and I'm going to go back to HABITAT.01 so that at the start of my next playthrough I can make a new prawn suit. And maybe a propulsion cannon and see if I can unstuck that one. And hope I have enough water and stuff in the meantime. I should. Wow, that's just, I guess don't park a prawn suit in a wormhole room. I've never had that issue before. I've seen a lot of bugs in Subnautica. That's a bad one. That's a really bad one. Hoping that this connects through to the other side. Or at least has an exit. I didn't feel like turning. I know it's slow going to get back to the base, but hey, we needed a reason to go topside anyway to gather... what again? I feel like there was something I needed up top. Oh yeah, regular acid mushrooms. I should definitely collect some of those once I go drop off this stuff. And I can make a, I'll be able to make the depth module 2 for the prawn suit, I think, when I get back. I don't think I'm going to do it this playthrough, especially because I stopped my recording. Super stupid. There's bug after bug. So I guess, you know, I'm the one who pushed the stream longer than I had planned, but, you know, it's my stream, it's my house. So it's weird. Never mind, we're not going to get into multi-dimensional shenanigans, but this is the kind of stuff I definitely have had experiences dealing with, and those who do go through bugs or technical challenges of some kind in your video games know that there's a QA team that has worked very diligently trying to prevent that very sort of thing from happening. I hope it didn't sound like Unknown Worlds hadn't done their job properly. That's not my intent. I'm sure the QA team did plenty. I could do my part and report the bug, but I don't think that they're really patching Subnautica anymore unless they absolutely had to. And that's not a game-breaking bug. It's annoying to lose prawn suit. Maybe somebody without the proper gear would be more difficult to get back going, but I happened to do it right near a portal, so.
Seek fluid intake.
I kind of forgot what this base looked like. Honestly, it's been a while.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
And I can use my Seamoth to get partially there to the other base. Or, well, use the... Why are the cameras so far out? It's so weird. Okay, let's turn back on the filmic. No. I didn't want to change the preset. Okay. Just so not happy with the menus right now. Ugh. And now I'm seeing graphical distortions. Where is the rest of my base? Alright then. Well, we're gonna need to end this stream before it gets too gnarly. Yeah, I think I was just looking for some water.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Well, I'll go ahead and just go to sleep here. And on that note, I will save the game and sign off from it for tonight. That stream has gone on long enough. And yeah, just waiting for a moment. The longer I keep this up on the screen, the easier it'll be for me when I'm, you know, looking at the video later to do the chapters. So, I'm sorry if it seems like I have a bad attitude about encountering a really shit bug. But yeah, I lost Ranger.00. It didn't explode or anything. It just became stuck in a wall in a alien base that cannot be destroyed or taken apart. And yeah, for whatever reason, it went from sitting down on the floor to being underneath the floor and then unable to get back into it after going through a wormhole. So, you know, you could blame me for playing longer or streaming longer than I said I was going to do, but those kind of bugs, it happens sometimes, and it's unfortunate, and it's difficult as a player to experience that, especially when one is doing like a performing art. Like, this is kind of It's not a career that I'm doing right now, but I'm playing in order to be here with my family and to be in a good mood. And unfortunately, I allowed myself to get into a worse mood after encountering that bug. And that adapting to the challenges, I guess the difference is I treat a bug as something that's like fixable and avoidable, whereas different challenges within the environment are designed by the devs. So there's a difference between like things that are expected to make the gameplay more difficult, and I'm not opposed to that, and there are things that make the gameplay more difficult because some kind of programming malfunction has occurred. And that's a more frustrating experience for me usually, and it's like a very reason that my career choice basically exists right now is we help dev teams gather the information that they need to do that. That being said, I do that in my professional life. I could do it in my personal life right now here, but I'm already like, I've been streaming longer than I planned on. I don't think the Ranger's going anywhere, because I quit out and I came back in and it was still in the bugged state. So I think that it's just going to be like that the rest of my playthrough. So it should be fairly easy for me to send logs at a later point to, if I wanted to report the bug. I don't think that it's an urgent thing that I report it right now, is what I'm saying. I was watching a stream recently and I saw some pretty difficult bugs that somebody encountered in another survival game that recently got released, and the devs were able to patch the issue and fix it, but I saw that people did lose some of their gear as a result in a very similar situation. I came out more fortunate in this situation in that I had other options for how to get out of there. I didn't have to try to take my fortunately, I out of all the places that it could have done that to me, that's actually a really good place to break down, because I had a wormhole basically to the surface. I was so deep that if I didn't have that wormhole and I only had the 90 seconds of oxygen with my swimming, there's no way I could have gotten out of there, and that would have been the end of my this Subnautica save game. And the thing is, my method for backing up the save games has not been the greatest. I do have backups, but it's always the backup of the most recent playthrough. So as long as nothing bad happens in this playthrough. So probably what I'll do is I'll create an alternate save. I don't want to do that. That Ranger is lost. KIA. I could take out the... maybe I'll come back at some point and strip out the module and just let it crush itself. Yeah, probably I'll do that on the next. I'll come back with the other Ranger .01 and extract the upgrade that allows it to be that deep without getting crushed, and the problem should resolve itself. So, and I have plenty of resources, so constructing another prawn suit is really not going to be an issue. I was able to acquire the kyanite. The only thing I did not get enough of in that deep run was the crystalline sulfur. I know where to get that. I go into brine pools basically and collect it. Yeah, up higher in the Lost River. I think there are some places to gather it. I don't have to go down into the lava zone. I don't think it's very active down there in terms of being findable. So, that being said, then the next stream will probably be, the first part of it will be getting whatever additional resources I might need, building the second prawn suit, the Ranger.01, and then returning with some acid mushrooms ideally, to be able to make more batteries, or to be able to grow them down there at the HABITAT.01. maybe since I'm up at the surface level again, I can find some kind of wreck that has a rechargeable power or battery recharger scraps that I can make a blueprint from. Fortunately, I don't really need it at this point because of the swim glide fins I got for the wireless swim charge. But that being said, I'd rather have the mobility fins if I could, and just recharge batteries when I go back to the base. That's usually how I do things. I'm glad I have the option of recharging them on the fly. That's been really useful today. So, so overall, lots of progress today. A little bug that was a setback, but we'll find a way to have it work out for the best. So, you know, just stay optimistic when encountering difficult situations. That's my advice for myself and for any who might experience something like that. And, you know, keep calm, carry on. Do what you need to do. Do the things and the stuff. I'll consider that as a meditation today. The little end of stream briefing, because I gave some good advice. And I'm just. It's not that I can't meditate right now, but I've already gone for so long on the stream that I'm just 3 hours and 41 minutes live. I'm good. I'm ready to call it and go hang out with my family. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Please be well, and I'll be back for another stream here very soon. Probably in about another 2 weeks. Okay? Could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Probably 2 weeks. I might do it a second stream the following weekend, a bonus stream. We will see. We will see. Thank you very much. Bye bye now, family.